is CEDP Celebrity Talk Show, and can you introduce yourself to the CEDP audience?
Of course. My name is Tim Cobb, and I run a business, a marketing business. Have offices in Eastbourne and Brighton. I am also a deputy lieutenant, so I work on behalf of the Lord Lieutenant of East Sussex.
How did you find out about the CEDP organization?
So Hong invited me to a Chinese New Year celebration as when I was working as a deputy lieutenant, and I was very pleased to attend, and I had a very enjoyable afternoon, and Hong introduced me to some people, and that is how I got to know CEPD.
How did you get involved in CEDP and its charity activities?
So Hong will sometimes ring me for some thoughts on particular projects she is working on, and I am always very pleased to talk to her about that and give her any advice that I have. Hong also invites me to attend events from time to time, which if I am free, I enjoy going to. So that is how I got to know the organisation.
What opportunities and challenges do you see in working with CEDP?
So CEDP covers a lot of areas. They put on a lot of different activities. I think the challenge is to make sure the Chinese community in Brighton is aware of all the different work that Hong, you and the team are doing, and just make sure that the profile is nice and high.
Okay, thank you. And can you share some thoughts about the Brighton? Because we all know Brighton is like tourism city, and you can share which the part of city you like.
Of course. So I was born in near Witherdene, near the athletic stadium. Now, which way is that? Just over there. But I moved out of Brighton when I was very young to Eastbourne. But the areas of Brighton that I like going down to the marina. I love Brighton Pier. I grew up in Eastbourne. My grandmother worked on the Eastbourne Pier, and so I have always had a great love of the games, the fun of the pier. And I think Brighton has one of the best piers in the country. Great place to visit, so I do like the pier.
How did you think about the Seven Sisters?
The Seven Sisters, yes, they are lovely. Do you mean the walk over the hills? So there is a beautiful coast road from Brighton to Eastbourne, which goes all over the Seven Sisters and ends up near Burling Gap. And I think the countryside is beautiful, and we have a lovely path that stretches past Brighton to the north of Brighton, the South Downs Way, which runs from Eastbourne to a town called Winchester, and it comes past Brighton, and that is also very beautiful.
Thank you. As the representative of the Deputy Lieutenant, you have been very supportive of CEDP's China-related programs. Could you share your views on the importance of promoting cultural exchange and cooperation between China and Brighton Health?
Of course. I think the work that takes place at CEDP is fantastic, and I think it really helps the Chinese community and the Brighton and Hove community get much closer together. and anything that allows Brighton people to understand more about the Chinese community, the what the Chinese community like, what they don't like, that has to be very, very good. Anything that strengthens that bond between the two communities must be good.
Brighton has a rich and fascinating history. How do you think the city's unique past has shaped its identity and made it a destination?
So, hundreds of years ago, the royal family would come down to the south coast for their holidays.
Yeah.
Um, and that encouraged lots of people from London to come down to the coast to see what was happening in Brighton, to see how amazing it was, how beautiful it was. And I think over the centuries, over the decades, that has continued to build, and today you have a lot of families who are moving out of London to come to Brighton. It's a bit cheaper to live down here, and it's less congested, great selection of businesses to work for. You've got theatre, you've got restaurants, you've got music, you have everything down here.
Yeah. We would love to hear about your personal connection to Brighton. What attracted you to this vibrant city and how has your experience of living here been?
Of course. So I was born here, as I have said, but live now in Eastbourne. I have my business based in Brighton. We are very close to the CEDP offices. We are a New England house. And so I spend probably half of my working week over in Brighton, and I know the business community in Brighton very well, and I know a lot of the lovely hotels and restaurants where sometimes I am lucky enough to go for meetings. Yeah. And the seafront is just beautiful.
Brighton is known for its diverse and vibrant culture. How do you think this cultural richness has contributed to the city's reputation as a hub for art, music, and creativity?
So, yes, I think you're absolutely right. I think Brighton has always been seen as quite a racy, fun resort, a place to come. Eastbourne was full of old people and boring. Brighton was very, very much the happening town, or now, of course, it's a city. So I think it has attracted various cultures, a lot of different ethnic groups down to Brighton, and I think they are mixing really well. The Chinese community is a great example of that. They have made sure that people know about what the Chinese community is getting up to. The work of CEDP really helps with that, and it encourages both sectors to come in. You've got a lot of people who come down from London. They can visit Glyndebourne, the opera place, then they will perhaps come and stay in Brighton, and they will see the wonderful hotels and restaurants we have, the nightlife, which is really buzzing all the time. So it's a great city.
The Royal Pavilion is an iconic landmark and a symbol of Brighton's unique architecture. Could you share your impressions of the pavilion and its significance to the city?
I think Brighton Pavilion stands out as an amazing piece of architectural work. It's a landmark. It is what draws a lot of people from London, from other cities, to come down here. It is open to the public. It is well worth a visit. So many different beautifully decorated rooms to go and see. And of course, outside of the pavilion, lots of cafes, lots of great street life. So it has played a very important role in Brighton, architecturally and in terms of bringing people along to the city.
Lastly, as someone who has actively supported CEDP's endeavors, what messages would you like to convey to young individuals who are inspired to make a positive impact in the Brighton and Hove community?
I think for people who have not yet come across CEDP, open your eyes, go and visit, go and see all the different activities that CEDP put on during the day, during the evenings, and at weekends. I think it has a fantastic role to play in working with the Chinese community, encouraging the Brighton community to participate as well. The New Year festivals that are put on are incredible. The costumes are beautiful. The amount of work and effort that the young people are putting into their particular activities, singing, dancing, playing instruments, it's fantastic. So I think it's great for Brighton to have CEDP right in the heart of the city.
Thank you.
Thank you.